Hey, this is Chris, and I am Chuck and Dice. Appreciate you watching my video. Today, I am going to be talking about the hybrid strategy that I like to play. And in fact, I came up with a name for it, and I've been tweaking it a little bit over the last several weeks. And I am calling this the hybrid tug of war. And I like that analogy because it's a war between light side and dark side. And I'm obviously in a hybrid strategy. I'm going for the assumption that a lot of roles are going to be over before they begin. A lot of roles are going to be over in the early stages, maybe one, two, or three rolls in. And then as the role progresses, I'm going to migrate to the light side, and the tug of war is going to be won by the light side ultimately on a longer roll. So I'm going to show you how this works in the way I play it, and I think that I've got something here that has the potential for hedging against short rolls and also the potential for profits on longer rolls. So let's just see how this goes. I am starting with a $300 bankroll, and let me just get some stuff in order here. I'm going to use a couple of the green color up dice. I like those. We'll use those today. And we're just going to randomly roll them, and I'm going to show you how this works. So I start with a $30 don't pass. You could adjust the amounts if you want to. I just am using a $300 bankroll and starting with a $30 don't pass. My tug of war is going to be based on $30 dark side and $30 light side. So let's just see if we can get a point. And there's going to be an 8, a 6, and a 2. So let's grab that puck, and we're going to be on the 8. Okay, so I've got $30 on the don't pass, and I'm going to take $30 in light side play to counter the $30 don't pass. So I'm going to pick the 10, the 9, and let's go with the 5. All right, so I'm just picking 3, and you could go with the 6 if you wanted to add $2. It just costs you $2 extra. But I'm going to stick with the $30 even. I've got $30 in light side action in a tug of war with my $30 on the don't pass. So here we go. 6. All right, that's 6 hard. Isn't going to change anything right now. 3. Craps 3. Nothing. 6. All right, back on the easy 6. Nothing going to happen there. And there's a 10. All right, we got our first hit. So hard 10. All right, so that 10 is going to win 18. All right, that's going to win $18. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to collect that 18. And that is my first hit. Now I'm in the profit if the bad number rolls. I still want to avoid repeating the number, so I want to avoid that 8. But at this point, as it stands, my tug of war is ahead on my bankroll, which is the ultimate winner, right? So I'm going to leave it where it's at, and there's a 7. All right, so dark side came in the tug of war. So I'm going to take this $30 and I'm just going to bring it down here, and it's going to pay that. And I collected $18, so I'm okay on that shooter. All right, so I'm going to leave $30 on the don't pass, and new shooter coming out. And we got a midnight. Midnight is a push, bar the 12, so 12 is going to do nothing. Still looking for a point. And there's a yo, not a number we want to see. We're going to lose that $30. This is obviously your downfall on the don't pass. Everybody's discussed this and knows it. If you're a new don't pass player, you lose on the 7 and the 11, which represents a pretty significant chunk of the possible roll combinations. You can hedge that out if you want to, but for this video, I'm not going to. I'm just going to reload and look for another point. There's another midnight. Wow. Midnight, yo, midnight. Choppy. All right, we need some other number. There's a 7. All right, so That's what happens when the table gets ugly. You start losing all over the place, and it feels like there's nothing you can do to win. And you get a bunch of choppy play, and your bankroll gets drained. So that is the second time we lost it, but we're going to keep going at it for the purpose of this strategy, and hope we don't do that again. All right, there's a 10. Finally got a point, a 6 and a 4. So we're going to have a 10 as the point. All right, so $30 here gets met with 30 in action on the light side. And let's go with the 4, the 9, and you know what? Let's go with the 6. I'm going to go ahead and cap it. That's costing me $2 extra. Technically not quite even, but you have to have the caps on the 6 and 8, so I'll go that way. So I'm just picking $30 on 3 numbers to go against the point of 10. 6, all right, I picked the right 6 or 8, so we got an easy 6. 6 is going to pay 14, and I'm just going to collect that first one. And here we go. 5, all right, I have nothing on the 5. The 5 is empty at this point. And 7 out. All right, so another fairly quick 7. So we're going to lose the cap on the whites on the 6 and get paid 30. So let's bring that down and pay the don't pass. I'll rack that. So far everything's working well, except I lost a couple come outs. Here we go, a new shooter. Just keep going around the table and the new shooter coming out. And we have a 6, all right, a 5 and a 1. That's going to be the new point. And we'll get $30 from our rack. Ask the dealers to give us the 5, the 9, and the 4. Let's go that way. All right. Tug-of-War. There's a 5. All right. 3 and a 2. That's going to win $14. And we will just rack that. Oops, hit number 1. 8. All right. I have nothing on that 8. It is empty at the moment. 4. All right. So I picked the right end. That 4 is going to win 18. I'm going to pay 20 for 2. There's 2 out. And now what I've got here is $30. I collected 14 on the 5, and I collected 18 on the 4. So what I'm going to do now, I've got 30 in action. I just won 30, and I've got my 30 hedged against the 6. I'm going to take that 6, that don't pass, right back, pull that down. You can do that at any time as long as you're not the shooter. Now I've got 30 in action that I've got protected because I already collected 30. Now I'm looking to extend the roll. That's a 10. I'm basically extending the roll for no risk because I've only got the 30 in action that I've already recovered while early in the tug-of-war. There's another 4, hard 4. All right, 2 and a 2. That hard 4 is going to win 18, so I'm going to pay 20 for 2. And now with that 20, what am I going to do? I'm going to go ahead and add the 10. And I'm going to add the, I'm not going to add the point. I'm going to add the 8 for 10. And I'm going to cap that for $2. So it did cost me $2 out of my roll, out of my bankroll. There's a 4. All right. 4 is coming. And that 4 is going to win another 18. Let's see. I'm just going to pay this 18. I'll pay that properly. And I'm just going to collect that. All right. Add a little more to my bankroll. There's a 6. All right, so 6 is the point, and that was a 6 hit. Now, I didn't put anything on the 6, but because I pulled down my don't pass, I'm actually not losing anything here. Point hit, no worries. We're going to be coming out, same shooter, and I'm going to stay with the puck and leave that turned off. And there's a come out 7, so I made a good decision there. Not going to hurt us. Not going to do anything for we have no pass or don't pass. Just looking for a new point. There's a 3. All right, again. Now 3 would have paid on the don't pass, but because I'm off, I don't lose on the pass line. I don't win on the don't pass. We're just still sitting here looking for a point. 6. All right. So we got a 5 and a 1. Back on the 6 and ready to go. And all right, how many times does this happen? There's a 5 and a 2, 7 out. It seems like a lot of times you get a point, you make the point, you roll a couple sevens and horns, get a point established finally again, and then the 7 comes because it's been 3 or 4 rolls since you rolled that point. So anyway, seems to happen sometimes, and that's okay. We are in an okay position because we were hedged and won the Tug-of-War and had stuck to the light side only after we had collected our $30. So new shooter coming out. We are back on the don't pass for $30. Starting it all over again. Excuse me. There's a 10. A point of 10 came hard. So we're going to counter that 10 with action on the 5 and 9. And let's go with the 8 this time. We'll add the $2 cap to that. So we got a 5, 8, and 9 in the Tug-of-War. There's a 5. Yeah, 5, 3, 2. All right, that 5 is going to win 14. I'm going to pay 15 for 1. Let's get rid of my white chip. Let's hit number 1 and $15 or 14 collected. 4, hard 4. And I have nothing on the 4, so we'll just reload and shoot them again. And there's an ace deuce clear over there. Collect that. Ace deuce does nothing. 8. All right. Hey, I got that 8. All right. So that 8 is going to pay 14, and I'm going to pay 15 for 1 again. Now, decision time. It's decision time. That is, I've got $30 in red chips here, but it did cost me $1 because I did 15 for 1. Technically, I only won 14 on those 2 hits. That means that as of right now, I'm sitting $28 ahead. I've got $30 at risk, so I'm at a $2 loss negative at this point. But because the point is 10, I'm going to leave it and write it one more time. If the point was an inside number, I might go ahead and pull it, but I'm not. I'm at 10. I'm going to leave it where it's at. There's an ace deuce. I'm going to hope I can get one more hit before I make the next move. A back-to-back ace deuce. See a horn, bet a horn. Yo 11. A little too close to the 10 for my liking. Here we go. Let's avoid that. And there's a 7. All right. I couldn't get that extra hit, but that's okay. This time in the Tug-of-War, the 7 won early. And we're going to lose the cap on the 8, but this is $30 coming down to pay the don't pass. And we're all square. All right. This can feel like a little bit of a grind, especially when things are just going back and forth. You're losing early. You're having those early 7s. But I promise you, while everybody else is losing 66 inside or 96 across, 98 across, or they're playing with big pass line and odds, and you've got your don't pass sitting here getting paid, and you know that you're at least breaking even on those short rolls. It doesn't feel too bad. Now, obviously, you do have the risk of the come out loser, but that's a risk, and you're going to have that trade off no matter what strategy you use. There's always ways to lose. So let's keep going here. Let's see how much. Yeah, we're good. We're good on time. About 15 minutes in so far. Keep going. And there's another 10. Easy. 10 is the point. And we'll get $30. 10, 20, 30. All right. So where are we going to go this time? Let's go with the 6 and the 8 and the 5. And now I'm going to need some change. I'm choosing dollar change for me. I'm choosing to go ahead and spend $34 so I can cap the insides. You don't have to. By the way, you can just do it this way if you want. Side note, you can place the 6 and 8 for 10 and it pays 11 because it's not proper. So if you go ahead and add the $12 instead of 10, it'll pay 14 and pay you properly. So you can do it and they'll pay. Most places, I don't think they'll have any problem with you betting $10 on the 6 or 8, and it will give you an extra dollar on top of the flat even money. So better to go ahead and cap it. You're risking $4 extra, but you're making it pay properly. So here we go. 5, 6, and 8. Tug of war against the $30 don't pass on the 10, and there is an 8. All right, so that's going to pay 14. We'll just collect that properly this time. And there's hit number 1. 12, midnight. Nothing for us. Midnight is not going to do anything. And there's a 9, the one I don't have covered. 5 and a 4. Here we go. Still looking for another hit. And there's a hard 4. I guess I don't have the 4 covered either. Nothing going to do it on that. And there's a 5, 3 and a 2. All right. That 5 is going to pay 14. And that is our second hit. So there's $28 collected. Now, again, because we're on the 10 as the point, I've got a decision to make. I could stop and I'm down $2, but I'm even. Well, technically I'm down $6 because I also have the 6 and 8. Now, what I'm going to do at this point, I'm going to just make a judgment call, and instead of pulling this down for one more hit, I'm going to go ahead and put a nickel on the hard 10. That covers one of those 3 ways that I could lose. And yes, it puts me I do have a loss. It's another $5 I would lose on the 7, but I'm going to go ahead and take that risk. You can choose to do it however you want, but I'm looking for one more hit on the 5, 6, or 8 at this point. There's a 6. All right, so $6 is going to win 14. I'm going to pay 15 for 1. Whoops, that's a little too much. 15 for 1. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and rack that. I'm going to pull down my don't pass because I'm good now with that. I'm going to pull down the hard 10 because I don't need the hard 10 protection anymore. And now I'm going to go ahead and let this ride for now, and I am in the clear. Tug of War has traded over to the light side. That's a 5, 1, 6. That 6 is going to pay 14, and I'm going to pay 15 for 1. And now I'm going to go ahead and take the 9 for $10. I'll rack a nickel. At this point, now the Tug of War has changed to the light side, and I'm just going to, you kind of go with your gut feeling. There's an ace deuce. What you want to do from here, press and collect, press, add other numbers. However you do it from here is totally up to you. It's all totally up to you. It's your money. So bet however you want to. There's a hard 6. That's going to pay 15 for 1. And what I'm going to do is take the 4 for $10. And I'm going to collect the nickel. All right, now we're out in a light side play. That's a box cars. The dice I rolled there, that was a 6, 6. All right. At this point, you just really want a long roll. We're into the light side of the Tug of War. The light side has 1. There's a 4, 1, 5. That will pay 15 for 1. And now you're just hoping for a long roll. I collected once or twice, maybe. I don't remember now. I'm going to go ahead and press the 5, the 9, and the 4. All right. 4. All right. Well, that was good. 3, 1, easy 4. Now the 4 has 3 units on it. $15 is going to win 27. I'm going to take a green chip and a white chip, and I'm just going to enjoy the profits and collect that right up. Leave it right where it's at. There's an 8. All right, 8 easy. 3 and a 5. That 8 still has 12 on it, so that's going to win 14. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the dealers to take me up 1 each on the 6 and 8. I'm going to take both of these to 18 at the same time. and that's going to collect $2. 5 fever, no field 5. Now I've got 3 units on the 5. That's going to pay 21. And I'm just going to collect 21. All right. 6, easy. 4 and a 2. That 6 has 18 on it. That's going to win. Let's see. That's going to win 21 officially. And what I'm going to do at this point, I'm going to throw in $3 from my rack. And I'm going to take that 6 straight up to 42. And I'll show you how that works. So now I'm going up to 42. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5. I'm going to get a green chip for it. There's 25. All right, let me put that away. And plus an extra two reds here gets me to 35. And I've got another 5 in white chips, plus the $2 in whites left over. That is $42. So I'm throwing in $3 to take me straight up to 42 on the 6. There's a Yo 11. Getting a little more aggressive since we are into a longer roll now. 3 ace deuce. See a horn, bet a horn. 8, easy 8. All right, that's a 6 and a 2. I'm going to do the same thing with the 8. It's going to win 21. I'm going to throw in $3, and I'm going to take all of this down, and we're going to press all this up to 42. So there's a green chip, and I'm going to take that in exchange for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red chips. And then I've got 5 white chips that I'm going to exchange for a nickel. And I've got 3 reds and 2 whites to go up to 42. Now I've power pressed those up to $42 each. 5 fever. All right, that almost rolled over to be a 5-1-6, but it ended up being a 1-5 or 1-4-5. All right, so that 5 is going to pay 21. Now, $21. What am I going to do here? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and throw in 10 from my winnings, and I'm going to take the 5 up to a quarter. All right, let's go ahead and press that on up, and I'm going to collect the $11. 4. All right, easy 4. 3 and a 1. That still has 3 reds on it. I'm going to get paid 27 for that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and buy it for a quarter. And it's going to cost me $1 in VIG. My casino takes that up front. And I'm going to buy it and collect the $11 in change. All right, here we go. Yo 11. Again, you can regress, press, do whatever you want here. This is out in the green pastures of the light side strategy, where I've already gotten through the tug-of-war. The light side has won, and now I'm just going in for the long roll and profiting off the long roll. And there is a 3-1-4. All right, so we got that 4 to hit. That's going to win 50 for $1 VIG to keep the quarter up. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to toss in another $1. And I'm going to take one of these greens and put it on the 10. So I'm going to go ahead and buy the 10 for $1 and collect the quarter. 3 ace deuce. And there's a 4-2-6. All right, so that 6 is pressed up to 42. That is going to win 49. So I'm going to pay 50 for 1. And I'm just going to collect this $50. All right. Good long roll. And there's another 6 back to back. All right, what do you do when you get to this situation? Well, now's when you can start pressing toward the ceiling, or you can just regress. You can do whatever you want here. For now, I'm going to pay 50 for one. That's a $49 win. 50 for one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take the 6 and the 8 to 60. Oops. And collect. There's going to be $14 that I'm collecting here. All right. 9, Nina. All right. I wondered about that 9. It's still sitting at $15. We hit it, so that 15 is going to win 21. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and throw in 2 red chips to take this to a quarter. Now we got a quarter on the 9, and I'm going to collect $11. Oops. Collect $11 from that, and here we go. 3 craps 3. All right, nothing doing there. 5 fever, no field 5. It's 3 and a 2. Got a quarter on that. That quarter is going to pay 35. 2 reds, 1 green. I'm just going to press the 5 and 9 up 1 nickel each and collect the quarter. Ace deuce. All right, if we were on crapless, we've hit a lot of horns in this long roll, but that's not going to do anything for us here. 5, 5, 10. All right, hard 10. Hey, look at that. We made the point after all that long roll. Point finally hit. And good thing I added a quarter to that. That quarter is going to pay 50. And I'm going to need $1 to pay the VIG. And I'm just going to collect this. Now, point made. We are off. Point made, right? We are off. Looking for a new point. 7 out, or 7 frontline winner, not 7 out. That's a natural. We are protected because the puck is off. So the 7's not going to do anything for us at this point. 8. All right, so 8 is the point. Now, I have a decision to make. I am a conservative player, and we have had the monster roll that everybody's looking for, and I've got everything pressed up here. What do we got? Man, we got 60, so 120 plus 30, 150, 180, plus another 50, $230 on the table. I am getting nervous. I'm telling the dealers, listen, we have had a fun run, but all good things must come to an end. Please bring me down. And they're going to say, all right, we'd love a crack at your money, but we understand. So they're going to pull all these green chips down, these glorious green chips, and they're going to let me rack them. And they're even going to give me my $2 in VIG back that I had out there on the 4 and the 10 because I have to prepay those. My rack is full of juice. I am happy, but I still want some skin in the game because this is a long roll and you never know. You never know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the dealers to go ahead and give me a $12 6 and 8, and I'm just going to start over. And there's a 7. Holy moly. All right, so this is why I do it this way. You always feel like after a long roll, the point's finally made, everything gets reset, you get a new point established, and boom, 7 comes again really fast. And I even had a 7 on the come out there, which, some people think, well, you rolled a 7, maybe you'll go on another long roll. So it didn't happen. I'm glad I pulled down when I did. That's part of the game. It's part of having the kind of the brains to figure out when you might want to pull stuff off the table. So anyway, I think that's going to be it for this video. Clearly, that was a good long roll at the end. There's a $500 green chip bonanza right there. Let's see. I think that's 500. I never get that many green chips, so I don't know. Let's see. Oops, 4. More than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 550 in greens. I know This is 100 in reds, 650, and another 750, 775, 795, 801. $801 from a $300 starting bankroll playing the Tug-of-War. $30 don't pass. You might remember earlier in the session, I actually lost two of those don't passes back to back. That's $60 back to back. That's getting a little scary for a low roller. But anyway, the Tug-of-War, you start with the don't pass of $30, choose three place bets, and you Tug-of-War. The early sessions, you're just collecting, and once you get $30 in winnings, or $28 if you prefer, pull down the don't pass, and then you're playing light side and pressing and doing whatever you want to do from there, hoping that the tug of war has shifted to the light side and you're in for a long roll. So even if you have a short roll after that, you're still protected because you pulled down your original bet and you are in the profit for that shooter. So anyway, that is my hybrid tug of war. I hope you enjoyed this video at any rate, and we'll see you next time. All right. Have a good one.